Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Future Force. Today, we are diving deep into the shocking event that has shaken the global stage and significantly impacted the ongoing conflict, the explosion on the Crimean Bridge. This bridge has long been a critical link between the Russian mainland and the Crimean Peninsula, serving as a vital supply route, a symbol of political dominance and a strategic asset in the ongoing war. Its destruction or severe damage represents far more than just an attack on infrastructure. It is a direct challenge to Russia's logistical capabilities, its control over occupied territories, and its ability to project strength in a region already marred by intense fighting. The bridge has stood as a powerful emblem since its construction, but now it lies in a state of chaos, smoke, and uncertainty. Today, we will break down every aspect of this incident, from its exterior damage, the internal vulnerabilities it exposed, the performance of the infrastructure under attack, the safety implications, and the unique strategic ripple effects that follow. By the end, you will understand why this single event is being called one of the most critical strikes in the conflict so far. The exterior of the Crimean Bridge after the explosion tells a story of devastation and precision. Massive sections of the roadbed are warped, steel beams are twisted like paper, and the once seamless connection across the Kerch Strait now appears fractured and vulnerable. From a visual perspective, the damage is both shocking and symbolic. The thick smoke that rose into the air was visible for miles, turning the normally busy crossing into a scene of abandonment and chaos. Burned vehicles, cracked concrete, and debris scattered across the water revealed the sheer force of the blast. Russian authorities rushed to secure the perimeter, but images circulating online show that the external face of the bridge has suffered a blow that will take months, if not longer, to fully repair. Looking deeper into the interior, the true extent of the vulnerability becomes even more apparent. This bridge was touted as one of the most heavily guarded and strategically important structures in the region. Its internal framework was designed to withstand heavy traffic, harsh weather conditions, and even limited acts of sabotage. But the attack revealed significant weaknesses in its design and defense measures. The explosion compromised internal steel supports, disrupted the rail system that runs alongside the road lanes, and damaged vital fuel and ammunition transportation channels. Inside the concrete casing, cracks have emerged that go beyond superficial damage, meaning large portions may need to be rebuilt from scratch. The interior logistics also highlight a major setback for Russia's military supply chain. Armored vehicles, fuel convoys, and ammunition transports that once relied on this route will now face delays, rerouting, and increased vulnerability as they are forced to use alternative paths through hostile or less secure regions. Civilians in Crimea and nearby territories are also facing shortages in goods and fuel, as the interior infrastructure of the bridge was critical for daily economic and logistical flow. The internal chaos after the blast is a direct reflection of how one structural breach can ripple through an entire military and civilian ecosystem. When evaluating performance, the bridge's endurance under such an attack reveals mixed results. On one hand, the structure did not completely collapse into the sea, meaning its foundational pillars may still hold integrity. This shows that its base engineering had some resilience. On the other hand, the speed at which the explosion rendered key sections unusable raises serious questions about the adequacy of its protective measures. Russia invested heavily in surveillance, naval patrols, and anti-sabotage technology around this bridge, yet a strike of this magnitude managed to penetrate its defenses. From a performance perspective, this is a major failure in terms of both deterrence and rapid response. The bridge was supposed to function as an unshakable lifeline, but the attack has demonstrated that even high-profile strategic infrastructure can be neutralized with well-executed tactics. Safety features of the bridge were advertised to include multiple layers of protection, including reinforced concrete barriers, maritime exclusion zones, and 24/7 monitoring. However, this incident exposed the limitations of those safety protocols. Explosions of this scale not only jeopardized the structural integrity, but also endangered civilians and military personnel traveling across it. Emergency evacuation protocols were triggered, but with fire spreading across multiple lanes and smoke reducing visibility, Several vehicles were trapped for hours. Firefighting and rescue teams faced immense difficulty accessing the hottest points due to collapsed sections and secondary explosions from transported fuel. This psychological impact on the population cannot be underestimated either. Safety is not just about physical measures but also about public confidence, and this incident has shaken that confidence profoundly. The unique selling point of this event from a strategic and geopolitical perspective lies in its symbolism. The Crimean Bridge was not just a piece of infrastructure, it was a declaration of Russia's control over Crimea, a showcase project personally inaugurated by President Vladimir Putin, and a vital supply artery feeding the war effort in southern Ukraine. Its damage sends a clear message: no matter how fortified or politically significant, no structure is beyond reach. For Ukraine and its allies, this represents a morale boost and a demonstration of precision strike capability. For Russia, it is a painful reminder of vulnerabilities and the growing reach of its adversaries. This event also has unique implications for global observers. It highlights the evolution of modern warfare, where critical infrastructure, once considered untouchable, is now a prime target. The price of this damage, both financially and strategically, is enormous. Repairing the bridge will cost hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more, at a time when Russia is already draining resources on multiple war fronts. Beyond the material cost, the delay in logistics and supply chains could directly affect frontline operations, potentially stalling or even reversing gains in southern Ukraine. Insurance rates for shipping in the region may skyrocket, trade routes may be restructured, and military planners on both sides will now need to allocate additional resources to either defend or bypass this choke point. In conclusion, the explosion on the Crimean Bridge is far more than a spectacular image of fire and smoke. It is a turning point in the ongoing conflict. It exposes the fragility of even the most fortified infrastructure, reshapes military strategies, and sends ripple effects through political, economic, and civilian spheres. For Russia, it is a wake-up call to strengthen its defenses and reconsider its logistical strategies. For Ukraine, it is a symbolic and tactical victory that will likely embolden further actions. For the international community, it serves as yet another reminder of how regional conflicts can have global consequences, affecting trade, security, and stability. The bridge may eventually be repaired, but the psychological and strategic damage it has suffered will linger far longer than the physical scars.